Hi everybody, welcome and get ready with me while I talk about all things and if you should come here not to study. So let's get right into it. I already put this on actually earlier before I started this video, but I basically put this like skin tint on me as a foundation because it's lighter. So the first thing you need to know, like, I'm a business major, okay, so I can't really speak towards engineering, computer science, stuff like that, but I can say, as with any major, it's very, very competitive. Now I know some of these majors like computer science, if you don't get in when you're first admitted to the school, don't even go to the school or think about applying for it because it's like a 1% chance of you getting in. So here's the thing with this school, the majors are all so competitive except for the certain programs like English. You can get into the school, you can get into the program, you don't have to do anything else, just get a certain GPA. But most programs at this school are not like that. Most programs at are capacity constrained, which means that there are limited spots for each person. And it's really dumb because if I am applying to university and I get in, I should be able to do whatever I want in that university. Unfortunately, big public schools don't work like that. Big public schools have so many people that they admit that they have to turn people away, so unfortunately that's what it leads to. So before you even think about coming to know that you're gonna have to fight for your spot in your major, which means there is kind of no room for error. I did business, so I'm gonna speak about that for School of Business, and basically you need like a 3.7 GPA to basically get into school. Now there are exceptions. You can get in if you have excuses for why your grades were bad or if you have a really good essay, but in general you need a really, really good GPA to get in. I'm sure there is people out there who are like that, but I just don't know anybody who has gotten in with a below 3.7 GPA, and I've known tons of people who got rejected. So you really need to try hard from day one, and there's not room for a lot of error. That being said, if you are in the STEM major, you do have some room for error. I know somebody who got into her bio major, which is not very capacity constrained, and she failed a couple classes and she still got in. So STEM is definitely different, but as for business school, you definitely need to put your all into the courses, and it's hard stuff. Like, everyone says that business majors are easy, but I find it quite challenging actually. I'm not a math person, I'm not very good at math, so you need to take the prerequisites in order to apply to the school and do upperclassmen stuff and classes that are actually interesting and targeted to your major. And they were extremely math heavy, and I'm not good at math, but it was math every quarter. With college, the most important thing isn't being smart, okay? The most important thing is to be organized and to be on top of your work. As long as you allot yourself enough time for each course, you will succeed. Now again, this might be different in STEM majors, but at least for business and everything that's not STEM related, if you spend enough time doing your work and studying, it directly translates to a good grade on the exams. That's what I noticed. As long as I spend at least 20 hours studying, and that is a lot, but again, I'm a person who's not good at math, I will at least get an 80%. And it's kind of streamlined like that. So at least you know, like, if I'm studying, I will be able to get this grade, which can be comforting to know. As for location, absolutely beautiful. It gets a little cold around here, but I think it's lovely. It snows sometimes, and the summers are absolutely beautiful. So location, I give it a 10 out of 10. Now teachers, and as for staff, I'm gonna give that a 7 out of 10 because, and this is like that for every school I think, but when you're taking the big lectures, the teachers don't do much to help, and honestly they don't even seem like they want to be there. So honestly, the teachers, I would give a 7 out of 10. But once you're in your major and you're doing the classes that you need and you're in a smaller classroom, the professors are a lot better. Like with any school, I have professors that I absolutely loved, and then I have some professors that I didn't like at all. So I guess it just depends on you, but the teachers once you're in the program are actually pretty solid. What you need to know about this university that's the most important is that it is just rainy, and you might not think anything of it, but seriously, you might get seasonal affective disorder. You might get depressed from all the rain. Now, I've been living here since I was 12. I've only felt it like two years where I felt like very sad from all the rain. Honestly, every other year I've been fine, but if you have history with depression and stuff like that, it's definitely going to be hard for you because it does get very gloomy. Something you also need to know is past your freshman year, you're probably not going to live in the dorms. And I say this with a lot of anecdotal evidence, yes, but basically everybody that I know who was in the dorms with me my freshman year, they all, every single one of them are in an apartment with their friends. Okay, all of them, all the people I was friends with in the dorms, they all moved out after freshman year. And also while I was there was mainly freshmen there were a couple sophomores, and probably I only met one senior living at the dorms, and the other older people are just RAs. You need to know that past freshman year you're probably going to move out of the dorms, and you also need to know that it's probably going to be cheaper than staying at the dorms. My dorm was 300 square feet for a triple, and my share of the rent, if you're taking away food costs, was about $1,100 a month, every month, but you're paying it all in a lump sum. My rent at this house, which is my room alone, I think a little bit larger than our dorm, my room alone, I'm paying $960 in rent. Now, I do have to pay for utilities and stuff like that, but all in all, it's still a lot cheaper than staying at the dorm. And I have a whole house and a room that is bigger than my dorm that I share with 3 people. So just note, you're probably gonna live outside of campus at some point, probably starting your sophomore year. If you're in-state and your other options are non-Ivy school, that might still be good, but they're non-Ivies, and you don't have a scholarship, do not go. Because it's the best school in and the Pacific Northwest. It's ranked the highest. Don't waste unnecessary money, which you will be doing if you go out of state to an expensive ass college where you can get a very good education right here. Now, I do have a lot of complaints about it, but its education is pretty top quality, and we're consistently ranked among the best, especially in the Pacific Northwest. And in public schools, I think global public schools, we're ranked pretty high. Just come here. But it's not worth paying all the extra tuition. Another complaint I have is that it's such a big school that you kind of get lost in the sauce. So it can feel very overwhelming because no one's trying to take care of you, right? It's such a big university, they have to worry about everybody. So if you're really not into that vibe of just being a number or tuition, you should maybe think of going somewhere else as well, because it can start to feel that way. However, if you are considered a minority, there's not many of us here. There's not many Black people. There is a lot of Asian people though. It's like half the school, I think. But there's not many Black people here. But the Office of Minority, Diversity and Affairs is really good. But yeah, I got my merit scholarship. Honestly, it has such good programs if you're a part of that program. So if you are a minority, I would heavily consider coming here. It's not very diverse. However, there's a lot of good programs and opportunities for you, especially in your major. There's a lot of good programs for you. It rains a lot and people slip on the commons all the time on Red Square. People just slip and you see it and it's really embarrassing. One good thing I like about the school is there's so many courses you can take. I took a dinosaur class, an architecture class, a class about resilience. I've taken 3 dance classes. Also, there's this one teacher that I really don't like. Okay, it's not that I don't like her. First of all, she finds moments in between class to literally brag about her wealth. Like, oh, I have a Tiffany bracelet. Oh my gosh, I got this Cartier thing last week from, like, okay, girl, you're rich. Why do we have to know? Like, literally, she did this multiple times. Okay, there was some good things. She gave us treats towards the end of the year, which I really appreciate. But girl was kind of mean. I don't know. Like, I'm all for a strong businesswoman. She made you feel stupid if you did not answer the questions exactly like she wanted you to. And then she'll be like, that's wrong. She literally made me feel embarrassed, and I don't even want to share the story, A, because I can't really recollect it because of like the trauma that I have received from the event. But yeah, something just really embarrassing happened and I never wanted to speak out in class again. And in fact, I don't think I did many times after that event. Basically, she couldn't hear me. She was constantly saying, what did you say? No, that's incorrect. Like, okay girl, I guess I won't say anything ever again. How about that? I liked all my other teachers though. I live in this like townhouse and my room's a loft. Like, I don't have a door, and maybe I'll show that to you guys if people even see this video. But it's basically a loft and I don't have a door, so it doesn't conceal the heat in. And so every time I leave, I have to turn off my heater so we don't get racked up a lot of money and electricity bills. I come back, it is literally the same temperature as it was outside. And it takes literally an entire day to heat up. So it's like I'm cold in here all the time, so I bought a heated blanket and I put the heated blanket underneath my regular blanket. And that's how I get warm. If anyone's asking where I'm going, the answer is nowhere. I got an idea. I just hear on TikTok that YouTubers get paid so much more than TikTokers, and I've been kind of trying to be like on TikTok. I don't know, because I've seen someone's earning statement and I'm like, oh, I have to get to 10,000. But I think on YouTube you don't have to, I don't think you actually have to like have a certain amount of followers to get money on here. But basically I'd rate as an 8 out of 10 for me as a student. I think it would be lower if I wasn't, because I think the business school has so many good amenities and I think they provide a lot for their students, more than any program, not any other program does, because I'm sure like the computer science funding is really big and I'm sure they get a lot of support. But I think Foster School of Business is definitely one of the most supported majors fiscally in the school, and honestly I can see it. I can see where the money is going. I can see them putting it into our programs, and I feel like it's not, you know, just being wasted on nothing. I don't know, I can just see this money being used and it makes me feel like my spending is worth it. So if you're trying to be a business major, I would recommend. And honestly, I think if the job market was good, I would definitely already have an internship by now with the resources they're giving us. But unfortunately the market is actually like really bad, so finding a job in my field is going to be harder than it usually would be. I'm using, basically what I'm doing here is I'm using a different lash glue to seal it in. It dries clear, so hopefully this won't be a problem. I look really mad. The sound effects is this thing tripping me up because I just don't know what to use. Like, do you use a sound effect pack? Like on YouTube, like find it on YouTube?
I just save all the names that are funny because I'm like chronically online.
Yeah, that's
so
a good
I feel
idea.
like I should use that to my advantage. So the second I'm like, oh bitch, I know that's gonna be because I have some saved.
Yeah, but I just don't know what to do.
Well, I'm just like, I'll just do it. Right? But bitches don't know how to act in front of a camera. Boom.
Boom.
I tried to record at the party with like Dion and Elizabeth and Justine. I put the camera down. I tried to do this one thing. I was like, oh, let me see if I could actually like harmonize just by like, if I have perfect pitch or something.
I'm so sorry. What?
You can't hear yourself while you're doing the voiceover, so I just kind of put it in a lower octave. Like, let's see how this works.
Oh, bitch. You're trying to like shoot it shot in the dark.
Doing good?
Yippee! Yippee! All right. Bye vlog. I'll if I come up with another idea, I will be posting, and yeah, bye.